Hey writer friends, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I will be sharing with you my top 5 tips on how to write when you're busy AF. If you're new here, my name is Holly. I'm a writer aspiring to be a published author. If you haven't already, please give this video a big thumbs up, click subscribe to support my channel, and ring that bell so you don't miss any videos. All right, so we're in a little bit of a different setup today, but I will be back to my regularly scheduled place in the next videos. So for now, enjoy the red background. Oh look, how very fitting. I'm at work right now and I needed to film my YouTube video, which if you can't tell is a day late because I wanted to do this on Monday and it didn't happen. So Tuesday I was like, you know what, I'm gonna film at work and put this up on Wednesday because I wanted to have a video out this week. But if any of you are like me, you are probably really busy, whether it's with work, school, life. We're coming out of the pandemic, so we're hanging out with friends, family. There's a lot going on that you can be overwhelmed with. Even if you don't have children, I have fur babies, they take up time, and there's just so much going on that you want to be able to have the time to write, but you feel like you can't have the energy or like find that motivation because you're just tired. Am I just speaking about myself? I don't know, maybe I am. Please let me know in the comments down below that I am not the only one who feels tired all the time and busy AF. So I'm kind of gearing this more towards if you're really busy with school and work or just life events that are going on, that's kind of putting a stumbling block in your creativity and making you not work on your work in progress as much as you want to or at all. So let's dive into my top 5 tips. So tip number 1 is to prioritize your schedule. So like I said, you need to go to work to make money, to live and buy things, or you need to go to school, you have to go to class. There are other things in your schedule that you know you're going to do, so you prioritize that time. You're gonna need to set aside time to eat, you need time to sleep. You have to do chores, you have to do the dishes and clean up after yourself, you have to do laundry. Like those are things in the day that you shouldn't feel bad or guilty about, like not writing because you have to get those things done. So when you're prioritizing your schedule, you're putting those things in your schedule. You know from this time to this time, you're gonna be working, and then after work, you're gonna go grocery shopping or something like that. And then maybe later on at night, you're gonna be watching a TV show and then going to bed. So see if you can find little chunks of time in between those priorities, these things that you know you have scheduled and know you're going to do, and try to find that time to write. I know. If you're like me, you like to have a lot of time to work on something, and it's hard for me to be like, okay, I can get in the zone for just 10 minutes and steal away this time. So, you know, that might not work for you, but you won't know unless you try. So try to even just take those small moments of time that you can to write, whether it's typing on your laptop or scribbling something down on a piece of paper or jotting something down in the notes section of your phone or in your Google Doc or something. Find what works for you, but you want to try to find those snippets of time, even if it's not very much. Tip number 2 to write when you're busy AF is to learn to say no to things. So like I said before, things are opening back up and it's actually kind of overwhelming, at least for me. I am an introvert and an empath. I'm a physical therapist, so I work with tons of patients every week. And it could be exhausting listening to other people's problems, trying to help other people with their pain, and then trying to see friends and family now on the weekends when usually that has been my recharge time. So people have been trying to make more plans, but you know, it's been making me feel guilty to say no because I'm like, I haven't seen some of these people in a long time, or, you know, I should say yes because, you know, things are kind of opening back up, or, you know, finally this friend is vaccinated, I want to see them, or, you know, I should be spending more time with family. And those are all great things to prioritize, but you don't have to feel bad about saying no. And it's not that you're saying no to hanging out with that person, it's just that you're saying no to hanging out with that person that day or just this week. You can plan to reschedule for another day or another time when you're feeling more rejuvenated, more well-rested, and maybe it's in a season where you're not as busy or feeling stressed out with whatever you have going on in life. So when you're saying no to those things because you need that recharge time, it can give you that time you need to yourself to work on your project and, feel like you're being productive, and then it will fill your creative well and let you not feel bad and not feel guilty when you do go out and hang out with those people. Tip number 3 is to set realistic goals. So don't overwhelm yourself to write 2 hours every day if you know that's not going to be feasible for you. There are 2 days out of the week that I work 10:30 to 7 p.m. and those days, I know when I come home, I'm probably not going to have energy to work on my manuscript, and that's okay. So you just want to make sure that you're not setting yourself up for failure by, making these unrealistic expectations. So I know when I go home on Mondays and Wednesdays, I don't have to feel bad or feel guilty about not writing because I'm setting myself up for success and I'm being realistic with my time. So also think about it in terms of you want to be realistic with your goal for, let's say, NaNoWriMo. Some people can't write a whole novel in a month. And even when we have to work on NaNoWriMo, we have to write 50,000 words in a month. That might not be a finished first draft. You might finish your manuscript in 70, 80, 90,000 words. So to be like, yeah, I'm going to finish my book in a month, or I'm going to edit this manuscript in 6 weeks. Well, don't say you're going to edit in 6 weeks if you know it takes you 12 weeks. You do want to give yourself some discipline, give yourself a push, but if you're so busy that you're not in that habit and not in the right mindset and don't have that energy or time, then what's the point of doing that? Because you're going to be giving yourself a goal that you know you're not going to reach, and then you're going to feel bad about it. So give yourself realistic goals so you can stay motivated and have success. Tip number 4 to writing when you're busy AF is to use weekends to your advantage. So like I said, Mondays and Wednesdays after work, I'm usually not doing anything writerly related at all. It is dinner and watching TV and playing games on my phone. It's okay if you're too tired after work or even before work. I used to be a morning person. I can't do that anymore. I can't wake up early and work on my project before work. So that's okay if you're fluctuating and you're changing. Just be aware of these changes. So for me, that means that most of the time I'm catching up on the weekends, or I'm trying to be productive on the weekends and work on my manuscript because I just don't have the energy either before or after work to work on it during the work week. If you find that you're in the same boat and working on your manuscript isn't feasible during the work week, then it's totally okay to use the weekends to play catch up. Even using Saturday to rest and unwind or get any other chores you needed to get done that you didn't do during the week. And then on Sunday, you can devote a couple hours of the day to your manuscript. Boom, there you go. And lastly, tip number 5 is to find accountability buddies, specifically those who are in a similar situation as you. So of course we all have our critique partners and accountability buddies, our online author, writer friends who are motivating us and we're using to draw inspiration from and hold ourselves accountable. But you really want to find someone who's going to understand your situation and your similar time constraints and energy constraints. So for me, it probably wouldn't be good to find like my go-to person who does not have any pets, who isn't married, who isn't working a full-time job, etc., etc. So, I mean, obviously, no one has to be like exactly like you and have to be in exactly the same situation you are in your life, but you want to find someone who's going to be able to understand and relate to some of these things that you're going through so that you can use them for support and you can use them to help troubleshoot any issues that come up with your time and help you stay accountable to be like, hey, okay, after work or on the weekend, let's go and do this at this time. And so you can use someone who's going to help understand your situation. Because no one likes when you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so tired after work and, I just took care of the pets and I had to take this one to the vets and then I bought this food and this and this. And the person's like, oh yeah, well, I just laid around at home. Cool. It's just like, you want to be on the same page, okay? Let me know in the comments down below if you have an accountability buddy and someone who is along the similar life situation that you're in. If you are interested in more tips on how to write with a full-time job, aka when you're busy AF, I will link a video down below and up in the cards. All right, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!